Name is Mary Onaife Debbie, and welcome to the front page review. The time is 7 o'clock on the dot, and I have the newspapers to give to you, the headlines from different Nigerian newspapers. I have 7 of them this morning, and I will read to you some of the headlines, and then we get to talk this morning some of the issues in the news, what people are talking about. Rufai Oseni will be joining to analyze the top stories here. Obeda also will be part of the conversation. The phone lines will be open. As always, if you're regular, you know how we do it. You get to call in and send in a WhatsApp message. So let's begin this morning. We have so much to talk about. We'll start with the Punch newspaper. Abuja land. Federal government may revoke land allocations. Demolish 6,000 buildings slum. That is in the Punch newspaper. Coalition halts half of what you hear are rumors. Obi assures party loyalist. And a newly sworn in tourism minister kneels before Tinubu after signing oath of service. Military police plan joint operation against Katsina terrorists. Isheshe festival must not be eradicated, says traditionalist. And still here in the Punch newspaper, Obi's campaign denies a planned merger with Atiku Kwankwaso. All of that is in the Punch newspaper. Still in the Punch this morning, Minister promises to fix education. Oyetola others raise hope. Now, armed men rob motorists in Lagos gridlock, and Tinubu to ministers serve Nigerian, not regions or states. Now that is in the Vanguard newspaper. And still here in the Vanguard, 77 trillion naira debt may store Tinubu's economic plan, says Man. And the fuel price fuel price rise 9.5 above official price in some states, says MBS. And here in the Vanguard, the headline here reads that gunmen adopt 8 NYSC members. Why going to camp in Sokoto? That's a sad story. It's here in the Vanguard newspaper. I took to kidnapping after armed robbers killed my father, says a suspect. Now the writer says to survive it became difficult for us. And I will stop open grazing in Abuja, FCT Minister Wike vows. Now to the Nation's newspaper this morning, how will implement Tinubu's agenda by ministers? I am not a regional minister, says Umai. And still in the Nation's newspaper, 5 electrocuted while erecting billboard in Rivers. It's on the start story. We won't tell lies to defend government. Information minister said we won't tell lies to defend government information minister. Now to the Daily Trust newspaper, Wike takes charge of FCT, says in legal houses will go. Now the writer says ready to step on toes to ban tricycle operations, headers to move animals out of city centers. Now, court sets aside restriction on disposed Kaduna traditional ruler. And we also have here in the Daily Trust that tribunal, police ban protests as NMPP APC set for showdown in Kano. Libya repatriates 161 Nigerian migrants. You get all of that story in the Daily Trust newspaper. And now to the Guardian this morning, Tinubu better ally than Atiku Kwankwaso Haneze fraction tells Obi. And another story here says unit doctors still on strike days after NERD suspended action. Fresh oil spill, Bodo community may break world record of highest incidents. All of that is in the Guardian newspaper. Southeast truck drivers losing 194.4 billion naira to illegal taxation. Now the writer says bad road notes kidnapping of drivers compound situation. Business services, Nigeria inflation to hit 28% by year end, JP Morgan projects. And now to the Sun newspaper, President asks appointees to serve with integrity, dignity, deliver on promises. All of that you get in the Sun newspaper. Gunmen kill another livestock guard commander in Benue. And we have here in the Sun newspaper, robbers murdered retired police officer wife in Imo. All of that you get in the Sun newspaper. Now, finally here in the Sun, Obi denies reports of coalition with Atiku Kwankwaso. Yes, that story is in the Sun. And now to this day newspaper, on our last newspaper for the day, it says that Tinubu to cabinet, you are appointed to serve Nigeria, not ethnic regional interest. Ministers assumes office, set agenda target. JP Morgan with $4.5 billion debt service, lower FX position. Nigeria requires sustained reforms to attract capital inflow. And finally, Shetima leaves for Johannesburg to represent Nigeria at BRICS Summit. Now, these are your headlines this morning from all of these newspapers. We now proceed to look at the top stories as I connect with Rufai Oseni for the analysis of the stories here. In case you're just tuning in, this is the Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, and you're listening to the front page review where I give you headlines and then we get to talk about the hot topics. I mean, the big stories, the issues in the news. I'm connecting with Rufai right now via the network. Hope the connection gets through and that we get talking. And we are streaming live on YouTube right now. So you could go to YouTube and watch us live at Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. And also we have a website that we stream on our website too. So you could go to the website, log on to www.voiceofthepeople.n. This morning we start with this story here. It's on all of the stories. We start with yesterday the ministers were appointed. They are now ministers of different offices. So yesterday we witnessed the appointment. After that, a lot of them started talking about what they were going to do and all of that. So in the midst of that, Wike spoke yesterday, and some people said he spoke he spoke tough, like he talks tough about what he's going to do now that he is the FCT minister. He said Abuja land, federal government may revoke a land allocation, demolish buildings and slums. Now, what he said had generated a lot of reactions. Some people said he should calm down, not to just you just got into office and you're already threatening people. Why don't you get to know the FCT before you start talking?
Bless you. God bless you.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Good morning. Day 7 of our asking the Senate President to tell us more about this money she sent to Views accounts, where the money comes from. And our ministers are here. Bless you, Mary. Good morning.
Oh, great. Yeah, good morning. That's Rufai Oseni, analyst on the program. Now, I was just giving a little update on Wike's speech yesterday after he was made minister. He spoke tough for what he's going to do, demolish a lot of buildings. If you don't have CFO, your building is coming down, whether you're PDP or whatever party you belong to. Now, some people said, yes, the FCC needs that kind of talk. They need someone with action, someone with no sentiment to put things in order there. Others are saying that he was too quick. That was the wrong place for the right thing. Not now. What's your thoughts on his speech and others? Okay, are you there?
Gary, my thought is bad timing by Wike. You don't say that on day one. At first, what you say on day one is you need the support of stakeholders. You don't talk too much on day one. You try as much as possible to coalesce efforts, bring people together, put their minds to rest, tell them you administer in fairness, you will look at issues dispassionately, and you try as much as possible to bring hope and restore sanity to the FCC. Not by saying you're going to demolish people's homes that don't have a sea of hope, not by comparing yourself to Nasir El-Rufai, like a lot of people still say, yes, there are a lot of reservations as regards how we led in FCC. You don't do that. And these are the beginning of the mistakes. So you should remember, an FCC is different from being a governor of River State. If you are for everybody, and how do you try as much as possible to bring people together? That's what will be the formative thing. And this braggadocious attitude, they should be careful about it. All you just need to do is to coalesce ideas and bring everybody together on board and carefully articulate your prospects and dreams, understanding fully well that there will be differences along the line with people, and how you manage that makes you a leader.
Great. I hope he heeds your advice. And yeah, I hope he...
Because if he doesn't heed to my advice, he will have problems. And you will see. You will have big problems. What our leaders should understand, you can't talk down on everybody and be braggadocious in nature. You don't live that way. You don't live that way. I hope he gets it.
And now to another story here. I think this story was developing a life of its own when people started talking about it, that there is a merger between Atiku, Kwankwaso, and Obi. So people got talking that, okay, because there's a picture of three of them together. Now, Obi denies reports of a coalition with Atiku and Kwankwaso. You know, yesterday, I think he was in Benin yesterday, and then he spoke at the rally in Edo State ahead of the local government election. So he denies reports in the National Daily, which says several meetings have been held between him, Atiku, Kwankwaso for a coalition in the event. So what do you think of this story?
I'm happy to deny it. That was a big story. And a lot of people were taken aback because this is Kwankwaso that couldn't collapse the structure for Peter Obi. Why all of a sudden they want to collapse structure now? Because they have their interest. We all know the reason why Peter Obi left the PDP. This is the Atiku that couldn't accept for power to use to the south. So what is this talk about the merger? And that's why when I was analyzing yesterday, I said there are some known knowns and unknown unknowns. And some things you know, there are some things you don't know. So Obi is now telling us part of the things we don't know now by saying that. I'm not part of this talk. So I think the clarity is starting.
So it is clear that there is no talks of a merger between Kwankwaso, Peter Obi, and Atiku, because it was a very serious conversation. In fact, people, let's not go too deep into it. And then we have lots of stories here. Now, there is a report by JP Morgan that says that about our inflation rate. It says Nigerian inflation hit 28% by year end. JP Morgan projects. Now, the JP Morgan's projection has really got a lot of economists talking because of their reputation. They know them as people that, yeah, they've been there. Now, this inflation figure, it's quite shocking. Actually, when they talked about during Obasanjo's time, the reserve of what the reserve he left compared to what we have now, it's mind-boggling. I think he said we're at 33%.
See, two things. Number one, President Tinubu must be bold enough to call out President Buhari and ask him how did he run the economy. But today they are patching it because it's their fellow human being, their fellow APC. It should be on record that APC destroyed Nigeria economy. How did we borrow so much that our net foreign reserve was $3-something billion? We're already going the route of Pakistan. And these things were not stated. And when I kept on stating it during the election campaign, APC, well, people will always say, oh, don't talk about it, don't talk about it, don't talk about it. Well, you can see the nature of the... And that's the problem that President Tinubu is having now, and he too is not making the right decision because he's being impetuous. He's not being circumspect. Mary, I will read something to you.
Yeah.
That is CEO of the company in Nigeria sent to me. Let me just give you a little hint. He was once the CEO of the multinational, the major multinational that left Nigeria at a point recently. He talked about JSK, saying why they left was difficulty in doing business. Return is very poor. The latest devaluation of the naira that kept on talking about that don't devalue, best you peg so that you will still hold a certain level of value of the currency. Destroyed value. Consumption power has declined by the citizens, by the current economy move. Lack of rigor and due process and strategic making. Lack of transparency in government economic matters. The future forecast is dire. Nigeria is simply a distraction to a 30 billion pound global business. Nigeria slipped from about 250 million pounds to 50 million pounds for business in 7 years. It will likely slide downwards on the current economic indices. If GSK were to see a $500 million business in Nigeria in another 10, 15 years, they will stick on. Rather, they saw continuous destruction of value with the distraction that Nigeria continues to be. This is another response about what retailers are now facing. It said majority of retail organizations are experiencing sudden drop-off in volume and revenue. Most of them have now just adjusted to an adjusted staff attendance system, 1 day on and 1 day off. The implication is massive. Layoffs are looming. More job losses will come. Most of them are frozen recruitment. All right?
Yeah.
Retail and modern is the highest single employer of labor in Nigeria. Retail is a critical part of the manufacturing chain. If retail is in trouble with foot traffic suddenly declining to over 40%, manufacturing follows. Retail revenue slipped over 30% suddenly, with working capital need to go up by 60%. So capital to do business is going up, but revenue is dropping. Many companies have now decapitalized. That means many companies will be scaling down and more shutting down will be coming up. One thing about reforms is that the downside is clear, but the margin upside is usually up in the air and may never materialize, especially with reforms that are not well thought through. That's what I keep saying. President Tinubu has now complicated the matter with not thinking through the reforms. Just like I kept on saying, remove subsidy. I support remove subsidy. But you can't remove subsidy without putting other alternatives in place. Just like I said, hold the value of Naira for a while before you float. You can't float without having the fundamentals. When we floated to attract FPIs, foreign portfolio investors, why didn't they come? I tell you why. They didn't come because the CBN was not honest. One. Number two, the CBN could not raise rates to be attractive enough for them so that they will be able to have their investment come in at a higher rate of return. And guess what? Because that was not there, and the CBN could not have raised rates, because if they raised rates, it increased government debt, then the FPIs did not come. So when we floated, we just suffered Nigerians unnecessarily, devalued the currency even more, allowed speculators to make lots and lots of money from us, and in the end, what did we go to? We still now went to borrow more loans to be able to defend the Naira and fix the currency at a certain rate to be able to stabilize the currency. But some of them will tell you, oh, we thought it's a managed float. What is a managed float? Economic definition is a managed float is a hybrid between a fixed rate and a pure float. So you are still fixing at some point, and these were the things he told them. They don't want to listen. So President Tinubu, which is a circumspect decision, all right, keep destroying this economy that is already on its knees even further. So there's going to be repercussions. There's going to have a lot of job losses and all of that. So let it be on record that the APC destroyed the Nigerian economy. It destroyed the Nigerian economy big time. And please, they must be able to take responsibility for what they destroyed. Because this was not the Nigeria, the so-called bad PDP handed over to them in 2016. The parameters were a lot better in 2016.
You know, the President Buhari spent 8 years, and the 8 years he spent there, it's very obvious that the economy went downwards. And you would think that this president, President now, Tinubu, would do something, at least do something that would take us from where we were. But now it's like we're going deeper into inflation, going deeper into economic crisis, and it's quite sad. Yes, I was discussing with an economist, and the person told me that we have, in fact, he's so confused that we have a long way to go. So I asked him, Wale Edu, who is now the Minister of Economy, what do you think he can do about this? Do you think he can make any impacts, maybe advise the president better, or can something be done? Because from even your analysis that right now, what you just said now, it's mind-boggling where we are heading to.
Truth is, if Wale Edu is circumspect enough, you see, the problem has always been under the APC. We have always made uncircumspect decisions. What do I mean by circumspect? Circumspect means carefully thinking and considering every parameter before you make the decision. Uncircumspect means not carefully thinking and considering all the parameters. So let me tell you, for instance, one uncircumspect decision Wale Edu has made already. When the speculators were having a run on our market, foreign exchange market, the so-called market that the CBN says they were floating, when Wale Edu was doing his clearance, in ministerial clearance, he went ahead to say that the Naira's fair value to be 700. The question is, if you are floating, why should you have a fair value? Are you not saying it's market forces that should take over things? International community picked it up. They used it against us. You can't afford to be having double speak as regards the economy. And this economy has been dominated by double speak. You remember during Buhari's time, where the Minister of Finance claims that they did not carry them along when they did the Naira redesign. You know, international community picked it up. And these are the things that bolster investors' confidence. If investors see that your Ministry of Finance is saying something, your CBN is saying something else, they just look at you and laugh. The same BDC, Bureau de Change, that we stopped selling dollars to the other time, now we somersaulted on that policy. We are selling dollars to them again. Now to be able to keep a certain rate, pegged rate. So what you are doing, even if you call it a soft peg or a crawling peg, it's still a form of peg. It still goes back to the things that we were saying before, that, okay, defend the currency, fix the rate. When you fix the rate, you fix the rate in many methods. You can have a band, you can have a crawling band, you can have, all of this is just semantics. And that's why I explained a float. A float means you float in such a way that you say, okay, you are going to intervene, but you are still trying to peg it around the rate when you intervene. Allow for an allowance. So if the Ministry of Finance does not speak the same language with the CBN, there's going to be problems. And these are the problems with Nigeria. Very many uncircumspect decisions. They are not carefully thought out. People just made a decision on the bounce. Imagine President Tinubu had to now come out in the end to say that his advisor told him not to say subsidy gone in his inaugural speech, but he went ahead to say subsidy gone. All right? So when you do that, it becomes problematic and the people look at you of some sort. So let's be very careful. Let's be very circumspect. Let's try as much as possible to be able to bring sanity, hope back to our economic system. Let's try to stick to our legal process. See, when we keep saying all eyes on the judiciary, and the people are saying, go and remove the bill, the judiciary even affects business conduct in Nigeria. Why is that people don't want to come and see business here? Because arbitration is a difficult problem. So when I say all eyes on the judiciary, I'm saying it from the vantage point of business arbitration. So there are multiple problems there. And except we are willing to take resolution on this, it will not go anywhere.
Now, before I let you go, our time is already up. The Chibok girl, one of them was rescued yesterday, one after 9 years. She said she had 2 children, but they died. Her husband, that was once a Boko Haram person, has repented. That helped her. They escaped together. So there were pictures of us in the internet, and people are like, okay, that's a good one. But she wants to be reunited with her husband.
Oh my God, what a gory story, Mary.
After 9, I think she's 27 now. She was adopted when she was 18.
Mary, what a gory story. What a very story. And that's the reflection of what Nigeria has become. Children that went to write exams. And can you see that there's no accountability, there's no how to account for them. All the offenses that they went to write exams to better their lives. But nothing happened. Their life became worse off. So what kind of society are we living in? What kind of life are we living? What kind of existence are we living? We must be careful in this country. I'm happy she's back home. I'm happy that things are moving smoothly again with her life, but it's a dent on the girl's life forever. It's only God that will be able to make her recover from it. And that's why I think leadership matters. Leadership matters a great deal. Leadership matters a great deal. We should not just politicize everything. These same Chibok girls that President Buhari was also content on blackmailing and politicizing President Jonathan for. He too, he got there, he didn't create a solution. So we just feed off politics and politicking. It's sad, Mary. Bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
Because we keep speaking about our country, we keep asking accountability questions, we will not relent on our country, and And this morning I want to pay special tribute to the love of my life, the man that made my existence possible. Mary, it's exactly a year that my father passed.
Oh, just like yesterday. Whoa.
Just like yesterday. Thank you all. You attended the party, everybody.
Yes.
Everybody in the VOP family, me, Chairman Ifeanyi, every one of you that helped come celebrate with me in the VOP family, that day in October when I did a day of tribute for him. But just like yesterday, 22nd of August, the day I'll never forget in my life. This time, last year, I started it like any other day, but around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, I was called that my father had passed in the hospital. So thank you so much all. Say a prayer for me today. Bless you, and thank you for all the good of Mary.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rufai Oseni. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Bless you.
We'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we return, the conversation continues. You are listening to the Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. The program is Front Page Review.
Are you looking for the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pick-up and drop-off from the Lagos airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and Coldberry ice cream, delight in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and Coldberry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 at Denira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1, Romeo's Pizza and Coldberry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions. Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36, Lagos International Airport Road, beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
You are listening to your number one station, the Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Not touch that down.
This is the Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. I have with me Obed Awede. Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Now, the ministers assume office. They set agenda and targets. Yesterday, we listened to a lot of them speak. We heard Lalong talking about what he would do as a labor minister, how he's going to, because he has a lot of work to do in terms of labor, doctors, and all of that. Now, Wike also made his stand. He spoke very seriously about what's going to do there as the FCT minister, and some others. Even though Yetola also spoke. What are your thoughts on their speech and as they assume office?
Well, congrats to every one of them. But you would expect that a lot of drama will actually come on the first day, and I expect that by today we are going to see more drama. And probably in the next few days we'll see drama when they'll be going around departments and agencies of their ministries. And all they will be doing, I will not tolerate, I will do this. I will not tolerate, I will do this. They will always say that. I wasn't surprised when Wike talked about his mandate, what he's going to do in FCT. And brought in the PDP into the statement where if they don't have a CFO, I will pull it down. First of all, it's about the kind of language. Well, it's been like that. We've known it's been like that from his days as Councillor of Obiakpo to when he was Chief of Staff in Rivers State to Minister to Governor. So that's the way it talks. But of course, it's not elegant in any way. I will bring it down. I will demolish. I will break down. I think even in doing this, which is good, restoring the Abuja master plan, because the minister was it truly ineffectual in terms of basic services, sanitation, roads, and other things they should do. Abuja has a budget of, they say, about 500 to 600 billion a year, which is more than most states get. But so they have a lot of money to play with in terms of facilities. So I expect him to think of how he's going to develop suburbs. Many places there, Mabushi, places like that, and the rest of them that do not have facilities at all. A few weeks ago, we saw that estate that was taken over by floods in Abuja. Those are the kind of things that he should be thinking of doing, even as he's trying to restore the master plan. What he did in Rivers State good, yes, for Port Harcourt, 12 flyovers and other things, they're quite good. But see, Abuja is not Port Harcourt. Abuja is a place where, as you come there, some decorum will be there. All eyes will be on you. So the things he did in Port Harcourt, where he was demolishing the hotels and houses of his political enemies, he has to be very careful, because if he does that on the national stage, you will find that the reaction will be different. But good that he's planning to restore the master plan. Then he's restoring the master plan, because we are going to restore it again and have problems. 10 years ago, Rufai was minister of the FCT, and he restored it. And they have built halls in parts and the rest, he demolished every one of them and the rest of them. And other ministers came and then started giving us also those public parks in this in Wuse and the rest of them were able to run restaurants and bars and the rest of them. So it's about following the master plan and punishing those who actually who actually distorts the master plan. So if all it does is to demolish buildings without going after those in the FCT who approve C of O's on that is for green spaces and the rest of them, of course we have not achieved much. So I expect that the government should be more focused in terms of doing that. For other ministers, yes, the Minister of Information has told us that there'll be no more lies, which is beautiful because we all know that lying comes with government. So he said that there will be no more lies. We know that one lie left, that is lie of Mohammed. We just hope that this one will be different. So that I wish we can have a minister in the mold of this Chukwemeka Chikelu. Yeah. Chikelu was quite young, a lawyer who was appointed Minister of Information from Anambra State under the OBJ government. Decent, or Ben, you never heard him utter a foul word against a political opponent. Yeah. I'm telling you, he was there for the first or second term of OBJ. Decent, because of his decency, this of the politics, something like that. So, but he was a decent information minister. So you can have people that bring decency to their office, and then I try to handle the task with some more. Decorum. So we actually make progress, give them as their mandates. I think the president was saying that he expects them to not to serve their states or regions and to serve to the highest standards. What standard, what expectation did they give to the Minister of Blue Economy? What are we expecting in terms of driving that maritime sector? What did he tell the Minister of Transportation in respect of rails? What did he tell the other ones? So if he has sat them down, or maybe he's going to sit them down, they're going to do a retreat. So you see them and say, these are the expectations in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. This is what we expect you to deliver on. Then we can begin to say, okay, fine. Then we can judge them and begin to assess them in terms of what they deliver. But of course, they will make all the speeches and then we look at them. But people have become much wiser now. Nobody's excited. So if you say, I'm going to make sure that there's food for all by the year to it, we're going to the front. We're going to sleep and beg. Leave us alone. Too much drama.
Thank you so much, Obed. Because of time, let us stop here and get phone calls.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, same here.
Yeah. We've been speaking with Obed Board Politics Now newspaper. Now, the phone lines are open for you to join the conversation. Let's get to hear from you. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Mary, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. What's your name?
This is Udaguda from Isolo. Yeah.
Oh, great. Welcome. Go ahead.
This about the issue of the Peter Obi. Maybe those people, they know Peter Obi win the election and make all of them just find with the exam go with Peter Obi. That one, if Peter Obi does, make him even mind them. Just forgot if we hope him judiciary about that one. And secondly, all these ministers, yes, they don't talk up and down. Maybe they won't disappoint Nigeria like Lai Mohammed. All of them, I know about all of them are politicians. They need to talk anything so that people go, they do. I know. But again, one of your caller, Mujiba or something like that, I thought that they follow giving one of the ministers because they say APC government is the best government. Rufai let us know this morning saying it's the worst government, so I make Nigeria a cripple. Yes, I really appreciate Rufai. Oh, bless that man. Because even look whether this one is from here, he talk truth. Oh, bless, that's my condition. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you for calling in this morning. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call and join the conversation. You can send me a WhatsApp message to 0700 903 9039. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mary. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, sir. What's your name and location? Okay, you're sounding far from your phone. Hello?
I can't hear you.
Okay, you say your name is what? Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, please call me back. It seems as if the network is not so good. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. Hello, good morning.
Mary, good morning.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm doing fine this morning. Good morning to you, Peter Monte from Shomolu.
Thank you very much. Mary, there is this saying in my place. My own I go talk, I go interpret very quickly.
Okay.
They say, Abubre Nyong Atongogeyeduma. You see, they pay them sigbun. That is, the black skies that starts with loud thunders will never bring down the rain that is heavy, will not bring down heavy rain. I'm referring to Wike. And Yoruba people will say, empty barrel, don't make bariwo. See, Wike should know that Abuja is not reverted, shouting, making noise, talking all over. I will do this. I will bring down this. I will. You don't threaten thunder and brimstone on your first day. I will bring down this. It's gone. Those houses are gone. That is how his Oga told us that the fuel subsidy gone, and today we are in trouble. Everybody is suffering. I beg, I will just tell him something. Cool down, okay? Cool down, cool down, cool down. And then let me say something about how many, 9 or 8, another station say 9 NYSC that were traveling on AKTC, that's Akwa Ibom Transport Company, to Sokoto, were abducted in Nigeria, still being abducted by bandits. Mary, yesterday, we were told of the wife of the pastor in Kwara State with the baby that we abducted. And we have been talking about the remaining Chibok girls in the forest. I don't know whether that forest is under the ground or in the air, and that they cannot bring back this. And the new minister for security, what are they doing? See, when you look at this thing, sometimes I don't know where to start from, because we keep coming, talking the same thing, and no improvement, nothing happens, and they keep abducting, they keep killing 36 military officers in Nigeria. And then the ECOWAS cannot see the need to send their soldiers to come and help Nigeria defeat bandits. They don't do that. They want to go and destroy a peaceful country. So for me, I am saying this morning, Mary, you see all these people that are parading themselves, they call the ministers, I don't have any faith in them, and I don't believe in them, I don't trust in them, I don't welcome them. That's me, Peter Monse.
Thank you.
And finally, please, on this situation that we are finding ourselves, what are we going to say tomorrow? How do we recover Nigeria? How do we bring back our country so that we can move forward? That's just my question this morning. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Peter Monse. I appreciate you for your contribution this morning. Now, it's reported here in the Vanguard newspaper that 8 NYSC members while going to camp in Sokoto were adopted. That's the story here. They were kidnapped inside the AKTC bus from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State to Sokoto. That's a very sad story too. So we just pray that they get back home and safe and sound, because it's a very sad story. Hello, good morning. Turn down the volume on your radio set.
Good morning, Mary.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Ikan.
Yeah, morning. My take this morning is what the minister tells us, that they are not going to lie to defend the government. So it shows that they knew they were lying to us. You know, the funny thing about life is that when you talk too much, you forget some certain things. Like, let me say, Akbaniko, I don't want to see. Then I want to, I don't wait for it. The truth is forever. A liar is a man with a very short memory. These people forgot what they did to us. You know, before they came into power, they came to deceit, propaganda, and all those kind of manner that were not even good for Nigerians. Partially, some people believe them and give them 8 years. At the end of it all, what did Nigerian got? The economy is bad, nothing is working. And now, he's not telling us that he's not going to lie for him to defend the government. So the minister of the minister of the former propaganda minister, Lailai Mohammed, was telling us lie for all that 8 years. You remember what the former minister of education said, that he knew nothing about education sector, but he was forced to be there just to damage the image of Nigerian education. At the end of it, or what do we have? Nothing. They are now coming again, even telling us that they are not going to lie. Me, as a person, would never believe them because I know these politicians, they think we are fools. Nigerians are not fools. We are waiting for them.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ikan. Okay, let's go to YouTube and take messages. We have Boyd Johnson says, good morning, everyone. Olaika Valenhart also saying good morning. And we have China Gorim Destiny said, what is the real Ohaneze Ndigbo saying about the fraction of Ohaneze Ndigbo? Because they will cause confusion. Okay, thank you. Precious A, I see your message. The Franklin Dixon said, key performance indices KPI must be set for all the newly sworn in minister. Where they perform, they get flowers, and where the ministers fail, such person must be sacked immediately. Thank you for that message. Adegunwani said, Buhari will be called upon when any of his lieutenant confess and indict him of being an accomplice in any financial criminal conduct. Okay, thank you. Olainka, I see your message. Thank you. You say, okay, for Rufai, also for Osas, Princess Omori Gueva says, okay, I see your message too. Thank you for that. Now, Frank Iwobe says, good morning, Mary. Wike should be slow to speak. What is ideal now is to do the underground plan and not breaking residents' heart a day at day one in office. He should try tread with care. Abuja is not Rivers. Thank you for that. And if he came one, but they said Nigeria is gone. Thank you. Nigeria is not gone. Mama Abasu said, good morning, Mary. If you hear Wike speak, you will see the rascality in him. These politicians are the problems of Nigeria. I'm ashamed of our politicians. Thank you for that message. I think I have Darlington here.
Yes, meticulous Mary.
Good morning, Mr. Darlington from Ikpaja.
No, Iyanekpaja City.
Iyanekpaja City. Welcome to the program.
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing well.
It's all right. Mary, yesterday, we came into office after the inauguration and he was talking tough. I don't understand. You see, I don't know whether we can open a school where we teach Nigerian political leaders decorum, courtesy, decent behavior. You see that whenever these people get into office, they start acting and behaving like an emperor. They start talking like a headmaster, talking down on his pupils. They throw every decorum to the wind. The way Wike was talking yesterday, I don't know. He thinks that the River State is Abuja. Please, if you want to carry out an assignment, must you be arrogant and rude about it? All those things that he was talking yesterday, is it expected of a minister? The way he was behaving and talking, does it show education? That is not proper. And I'm telling you, after all those outbursts, by the time he discovered that most of the buildings belong to APC leaders, will he actually demolish them? No, will he actually demolish them, Mary? Will he? You can see. You can see how people just embarrass themselves. All this noise now. By the way, was it not APC people that gave approval for the building? Are they not the one that own Abuja? So all those noise, this is one of the reasons why I don't like how these people behave. And it is becoming unbecoming for APC and their so-called appointees. When they get into office, they just behave as if Nigerians are nothing. They don't talk and behave and do it. If those buildings, some of them belong to Buhari, will he demolish them? I dare him to do that.
Thank you.
Let him do that. Let him tell me that all the buildings, they are from the non-APC member. That's why he will demolish. He cannot do that.
Thank you.
I can bet my last couple. He cannot.
Thank
so
you.
Why are you making all those men? To prove that you're a tough man, Abi? You're a tough man.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Darlington. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for your contribution. Now, let's take some WhatsApp messages here. The first one is from Benjamin from Shogula. Said, good morning, Mary. As for the newly sworn in ministers, I wish them well. Their success is good for the country. Wike should please take it easy with the people, and he should know that PH is different from FCT. Benjamin, thank you for your message. And we have Leo from Lagos. Good morning, Mary. We won't tell lies in defending government. Information Minister, and he is telling Nigerians that his predecessor, Lai Mohammed, lied a lot in defending Buhari's failure, and I will not believe in any statement from Tinubu's minister until tribunal deliver verdict. Okay, Leo, thank you for your message. Chika Bende from Trade Fair says, very interesting moment of swearing of the ministers and their plans towards their very BK press conference immediately after the event was very interesting. But President Tinubu failed to lead by example by declaring his assets so his ministers can follow suit if what he said is anything to take seriously about transparency and accountability. Okay, Chika Bende from Trade Fair, thank you for your message. But Dede Lushola says, good morning, Mary. Obi is planning to synergize efforts with Atiku and Kwankwaso. I now believe that the last presidential election was between APC and PDP. We don't need Atiku and Obi. Okay, what are you saying? That's not what he said in the news. That's not what he said in the news. Obi has said it's not true. The rumor moving around that Atiku, Kwankwaso and Obi are trying to synergize to form whatever. It's not true. So this is your message. It's not correct. But thank you for sending it in. Frank Onero from USA said the level of insecurity in Nigeria is alarming. Government at all levels must work assiduously to secure our lands by improving the economic fortunes of the citizens. Working citizens don't have time to engage in crimes. Okay, Frank, thank you for that message. And Kola Wale from Migondo says, good morning. The head determines the body. All the ministers will perform and must perform. For Wike, it's just nature in display. He will perform too. Oh, thank you for that. Let's see. We have Prince Ayotek from Arena Market says, good morning. You sent in 2 messages. I'm going to take just one. Good morning, Mary. VOP Radio. Thank you, Mr. Rufai, for the analysis. My take is the issue of kidnapping in our country. I want to tell you that evil is on the increase, and all we need is God's mercy, and the perpetrators should face the law. I don't know why our youth are too lazy. All of us are facing the hardship in the country, but these evil people want quick money, and if time is not taken, they will die quick. In summary, the government is not helping. They are after their own interests. Prince Ayotek, thank you for that, your message. And Gabi from Ojo says, the only thing APC has achieved in 8 years is the introduction of religion, tribal politics into our political space, which we didn't see in 16 years of PDP. Thank you for that. Then let's see. Timothy from Surulere said, Nigeria should know that any policy from Tinubu government is a continuation of Buhari government, because Buhari says the incoming president will continue where he stopped, which is policy somersaults all the time. Most decisions we are taking, think of future consciousness. It's a pity because they act on self-perspective with thinking of, I know your message, a lot of, I know what you want to say, but you didn't write it properly. But thank you for sending in your message. Quite a number. Okay, let's see if I could take Babeji from Oshodi says, good morning, Mary. Let Tinubu and APC go, because it's clear that they don't know this job. Things keep getting harder and tougher for Nigerians. Babiji from Oshodi, thank you for your message. And thank you to everybody that sent in messages and calls. Appreciate you. My time here is up. It's really very short. I don't know why. My name is Mary Onaife Debbie. I'll be here again tomorrow, same time, for the paper review. Keep it here. Do not change the dial. Coming up next is Oge Ndibo. My name is Mary Onaife Debbie.